What's up, everybody? My name's Phil Brown. This is Big Easy Quest. Would you like to go to the Red River in Canada? I know I like to go. Here's going to be the complete guide. The complete guide. Like, I'm going to tell you exactly everything you're going to need to go to Canada to fish the Red River. I mean, I'm talking about the starting of the passport to catching bait up there, to hotels, to you name it. I'm going to tell you everything you're absolutely going to need. And if you're not going to want to take a boat up there, I'm even going to tell you what guides to look for up there. So hold on. Enjoy the show. It might be about a 20, 25 minute show. I'm trying not to bore you with it. So here we're going to start about it. We're going to start off with passports. That's going to be probably your hardest deal to do because, you know, it has to deal with the government, and anything to do with the government is pretty hard. So, and it's not really hard. It's just knowing where to go and what to do. So I usually went to the courthouse. That's where I got mine set up. They took my picture. The only thing I didn't have, they don't take cash for some odd reason. And they take checks and or money order. So I had to go get a money order for it. It's like $115 or something like that. I can't remember. It was like 3 or 4 years ago when I got mine. So they're good for 10 years. So get your passports. You know, that'll help you out big time. Next is picking out the people that you're going to go with. You know, you want to invite all your buddies to go, but sometimes there's only a few select that will actually be able to go. If you have no WI, you know, in the last 5 years, then I would be kind of wary about who you take along on that route, because of the fact that the Canadian Border Patrol, those dudes are pretty picky. So if you've had any major deals like, you know, you're selling Coke or anything like that to, you know, football players, or, you know, I don't invite that guy, because more than likely they're not going to let him through. Anything to do with drugs, anything to do with stealing, anything to do with any kind of fraud, I would just keep those people from, you know, inviting them. You know, they might be your buddies. If you don't want to go to Canada, there are places you can go to. You can go to Drayton Dam. You can go to Pembina. I've been to Pembina. It's good fishing. It's just not as good as in Canada. So if you're going to go up to Canada, make sure you take some buddies that, you know, that's obey the law. Like this guy. I've obeyed the law. So I can go to Canada anytime I want to. And that's the best part about it. So, with that being said, next is getting your, you know, your places to stay, your hotel rooms, your, you know, wherever you're going to stay up there, there's plenty of places. This is going to be a little different than what most of you are used to. Usually, you know, people do links to apps. I'm actually going to show you what to look for in this video. That way it's easier for you guys. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of here. And as you can, I'm still talking to you. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my maps. We're going to pull up my maps. And what you want to do is go right north of Minnesota, and you'll see Winnipeg, and you'll see Selkirk. So Lockport is where the dam is. Lockport Dam's right there. Where we have stayed before was in Selkirk, and we've stayed at the Selkirk Inn and Conference Center. The reason why we've stayed there is because of the fact that right next door is called Smitty's Restaurant and Lounge. So after a full day of fishing, you know, we get on the water, sun's coming up. We usually get off the water when the sun starts going down. So you're on the water for probably 10, 11 hours. So by the time you get back to the hotel room, you're tired. You don't want to go nowhere. It's just real convenient to stay at the Selkirk Inn and Conference Center. And usually we stay in this back corner, and we park our boats along that wall, and they actually have plug-ins to where you can run plug-ins, plug in your boats to charge them and stuff. And then while that's happening, you can take showers and just walk over to the Smitty's Restaurant and Lounge. We usually went to the bar, had a couple beers, had a burger. They got good food up there, mozzarella cheese sticks and stuff like that. It's just nice and convenient. And in the morning, if you wanted to, you can walk over to the McDonald's and have McDonald's. It's just pretty much, it's just a kind of convenience to go there. The Selkirk Inn and Conference Center, really nice place to stay at. I've never had any issues there. So the other place that I'm looking into is the Selkirk Park and Campground. I'm looking into this because of the fact that I could possibly take up some food up there with me, or buy some food while we're up there, either or. And that way we can cook burgers and steaks or do whatever, we wanted to, just to, that way we didn't have to worry about leaving. So I'm not sure if we're planning on doing that or not, depending on how big of a crew we go. This is the other place that we're thinking about doing. And they actually have places that rent fifth wheel campers. So you can actually call this place up, get you a slip, call the camper place up, and I'm going to go to there right now and show you who I'm thinking about going. It's called Campin' Style RV Rentals. That's the name of it. And here's their number. And you can call them up or message them. I'm just going to message them because I'm not sure how the whole Canada and U.S. with telephones and shit go like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and message them and say, hey, I got this lot number, and we'll go from there. So that's as far as staying. That's where we're thinking about going with next. The other place we're thinking about doing is, there's not another place. There's plenty of other hotel rooms towards the outskirts of, Selkirk, but we kind of wanted to be as close as we can to the water. Now, when you're going up there, say it's time, you're going to go up there with some buddies, and you live, in the Midwest somewhere right in the center, Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Kansas, and you're going to head up there. More than likely, you're going to head up through I-29. I would suggest stopping, and I call it Pembina, and we always stop at the Duty Free America in Pembina and fill up our truck, and we fill up our boat completely full. And that way you don't have to worry about paying for Canadian gas and paying the Canadian tax. You can also get your duty-free alcohol there. That way you don't have to, I don't think you have to pay tax is what the duty-free about. I'm not sure what it's about, but if you go in there and look, all the alcohol is pretty cheap. So, yeah, you can go ahead and buy all your alcohol in there or whatever. And basically what you do is you pay for it there, and then up at the border, you'll stop at these, they're kind of like little trailer houses, and the guys will actually run out with the alcohol. You'll show a receipt, and they'll give you your alcohol. So I would suggest stopping there, because basically right here, I'm going to go ahead and drop a pin right there and hit on directions, do your starting point, say choose on map. That way you can go up, and you go all the way up to Lockport, and say you're staying at the Selkirk Inn and Conference Center. Go ahead and put your pin on there, press OK. And it'll actually show up. It'll be 1 hour and 48 minutes from that gas station to there. So we usually take a vehicle with, pretty big gas tank. So you can go 3.5, 4 hours on one tank. That way you don't have to worry about paying for the like I said, the Canadian tax on the gas. So we got that said. You're going up there. You're going to go fishing. As far as licenses goes, this is what we have always done. We haven't ordered it online before we went. We would just stop at some of the gas stations up there and just, get the paper license right there in the gas station. From the Selkirk Inn and Conference Center, if you go up north on Main Street, it is called the Circle K. I believe it's the Circle K. Don't quote me on that. We're going to scroll down and just make sure that I'm right. Yeah. It'd be the Circle K is what we usually stop at. Pretty nice dude in there. You can roll in there and park, and we usually block off this whole this whole deal right here when we go in there, because usually when we go there, it's pretty early. You get all your license there. You can stop at other gas stations to get licenses too. And then, so as far as regulations goes, when you're going up there, as far as regulations goes, you're only allowed one pole per person. You can take as many rods as you want, but you're only allowed to use one pole per person. I would suggest if you're going to bring any extra rods, make sure, because you're not allowed to use barbed hooks up there. So what I did is I took my 8/0 Team Catfish hooks, and I took a Dremel tool and I ground down the barbs. And then on my bait for catching moon eyes up there, I just smashed down the barb, because those hooks are kind of tiny. So you're only allowed one pole per person, and your hooks have to be barbless. Now, with that being said, with your spare rods that you have on board, make sure whatever hooks they have on are barbless as well. So you don't want to give them guys any reasons to write you tickets or do anything. So with that being said, go up there, start fishing, get your license, put on the water. As far as ramps goes, here I'm going to show you exactly where the ramps are at. So you can either go up there and fish the ramps. There is a ramp right at the dam, and it's at the Cats on the Red bait shop. There's actually a little bait shop here called Cats on the Red. We've used that ramp before, but it was a little tough when you got a bigger boat trying to get down that little tiny road and use the ramp right there. I believe he charges like $15 to $20 a day, and of course this is Canadian as well. So you got to figure when it comes to Canadian and U.S. money, I believe the Canadian dollar is worth like 70 cents compared to our dollar. So I would suggest at the that gas station in Pembina, you can exchange your money there, and there's no fee. See, what I do is I exchange my money there. I get my Canadian money, and then what I do is whatever money I bring back, if it's 10, 15, 20 bucks, then I just keep it because I know I'm going to go back up there again. Or if you have like, say, $100 to $200, go back to your bank and say, hey, this is the money I got left over from Canada. Can you go ahead and exchange it back to the U.S.? A lot of times your own bank will not charge you to convert that back over. So you might want to call them to make sure. But like I said, they're 70 cents to our dollar. You do not want to take American money up there because of the fact that most places you stop at, they will not go by the exchange rate. They'll take your American money and then give you back change in Canadian. So they'll actually make a lot of money off of you. So Cats on the Red, that's that boat ramp. Like I said, $15 to $20 a day. I believe he's closer to $20 a day now. So, and here's another one. The Selkirk Park boat ramp is right there. This is a lot nicer ramp. It's got the 3 docks. It's just a little nicer to come around there and pull around back in. You park your boats, your truck and trailers over here. It's pretty nice. Plus they have the wash down station for invasive species there too. That way you can take care of all that. This one, if you were staying at the Selkirk Inn and Conference Center, I believe this one's like $10 to $12 a day. And once you blast off from here, I'll show you guys. This is the distance calculator map that I use. And I'll show you guys exactly how far away that ramp is to the dam. So what I do is pick that little bad boy right there. And then I'll just start like that. Unrelease it. I'm actually going to undo that. We're going to do it about this far away. I'll lock it down, so go, and it'll start tallying up how far. Move it. Lock it. Move it, lock it. Yeah, I love this little app. That way you can do this and you can see exactly how far you want to go for tournaments, for fun fishing. believe it's around 8 miles. Yep. It's exactly, almost exactly 8 miles to the dam from that boat ramp. So that's not too bad. We always go there. Like I said, it's a bigger boat ramp. It's nicer to use that one because, you know, it's got the docks. I mean, nothing saying bad about that boat ramp, but it's just that one down the way is a little bit easier to deal with. And, you know, we got a 225 on the back of the Big Easy, so we can be up there, you know, pretty quick. So that's just the one we use. You can use this one. It's just all in what you want to do. As far as when you go up there, if you're worried about bait, trust me when I tell you this, bait is plentiful. And the reason why I say this is because there is an actual limit for moon eyes per day. The reason why there is a limit is because people eat those things up there. I mean, you may not think that they do, but they do. They eat smoked moon eye. We actually ate it the last time we were up there with my buddy John. So, and I tell you what, I kind of liked it. It wasn't so bad. It was, you know, it was a little fishier than what I normally would like to eat fish, but it was actually pretty good. So, if I had to, you know, and the bait up there is just like the bait down here. You just got to look to the spots where there's not as much current. Right here out in front of that boat ramp, there's actually a good current break right about here. A lot of the moon eyes will stack up there, or go down here. You know, you'll see the outside bend coming that way. A lot of times right along this bank right here, you can catch good moon eyes. And like I said, if you got 3 or 4 people on the boat, I'm telling you right now, I mean, you could possibly catch, like we got 2 people on the boat last time we went, me and my uncle, and we caught like 232 fish in 3 days with just 2 people. That's 2 rods. That's it. 1 hook, 2 rods, 1 hook, and we were just smoking them. So if you have 3 to 4 people on your boat, you're looking at, you're going to catch over 100 fish a day. So you need the bait to be able to catch that many fish. So, you know, I would say if you got 3 to 4 people on the boat, go and catch you 30 moon eyes real quick, especially if they're biting, really catch them. I mean, I haven't been there when they haven't been biting because I think there's a crazy abundance of them, kind of like the catfish. The catfish are just ridiculous up there. So with that being said, get out there, have fun, go fishing. It's easy. It's easier than what you think. A lot of guys say, "Oh, it's my, you know, it's on my bucket list." Well, guess what? Kick that bucket over and start going to these fishing places. You know, quit saying, "Oh, it's my bucket list, my bucket list." If you take 4 guys and travel up to there, you're looking at probably spending a couple $100 to $300 a piece going up there for 2-3 days. Well, guess what? That's as much as you would spend on going to one tournament. So if you would take one tournament off your tournament trail for this year, that's a trip to the Red River in Canada. So it's well worth it. It's well worth the trip. Now, if you're not wanting to take your boat up there, and you're wanting to, like, just travel up there to do a guide service or whatever, I'm sure you can fly right into, Winnipeg. I'm sure you can fly right into Winnipeg and get you a rental car. I'm sure I'm thinking there's an airport around there somewhere. Get your rental car. Here is another place. Cat Daddy Fishing Guide Service. My buddy Paul owns this guide service. If you look up Cat Daddy Fishing Guide Services up there, he's the guy I talked to. He seems like a really good dude. Hell of a good guy. If you guys got any questions, you know, if you're wanting to just fly into there, you know, I can imagine if you're coming from Tennessee or Alabama or somewhere south, to where it's not realistic to haul your boat clear that way. I mean, this might be a better option for you. Go ahead and give Paul a call. I'm sure he'll do you right and hook you up. That way you can fly into Manitoba or Winnipeg, get your rental car, hook up with Paul, and he'll do you right. Or if you wanted to hook up and just bank fish. You may laugh at me when I say just bank fish, but all up and down here, let me pull up the distance pinner. So on the distance pinner app, I'm going to show you guys this right here. And I'm not exaggerating about this either. So all up and down this shoreline on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this whole shoreline is packed with people. And on Saturday, I bet from where the red starts all the way to the dam, there'll be 30 to 40 boats. And everybody's catching fish. People on the bank are catching fish. People on the boats are catching. People on the bank, they're catching fish. They're just not catching as many. So if you wanted to come up there instead of hauling your boat up there and you wanted to fish with Paul, with Cat Daddy Guide Service, one day, I'm pretty sure he could probably help you catch bait if you wanted to stay there and bank fish, the other couple days. Or if you wanted to just book him for 3 days, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind that either. So, but here's how to get a hold of Paul, Cat Daddy Guide Service. There's his number right there, or messages page to get a hold of him. But other than that, that is your complete guide to getting into Canada. I know this was kind of a long-winded, but it was a learning curve. My first time going up there, a lot of stuff that I don't do now. Like first time I went up there, I took $400 or $500 in American money. Well, up there, they're like, oh yeah, they loved me. Yeah, they loved all of it. They loved me and Josh big time because we were just, we were breaking hundreds, this and that, and their eyes just lit right up because, they're making money off us, So, other than that, hope this helps you guys out. I think we're planning on going late May. I'm going to try for. So, we'll go from there. Hopefully we can set up something, see you guys up there. It's a blast. Have fun. Take a bunch of buddies with you. Like I said, you're only allowed 1 rod per person. So if you take 4 people, that's 4 rods. That way 3 people are going to be fighting fish and you're going to have 1 net guy. And you may laugh and say, oh, whatever. I'm being dead serious with you. You'll have a net guy to net the fish. And then that net guy will have to give somebody else the net because more than likely his rod's going to be going down. It is that crazy up there. So, like I said, May, June's perfect time to go. Set your plans up. Let's start knocking these bucket list places out. So, we'll see you guys up there. We're going late May. I'm going to try to go for late May. So, we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.